there's a thin line. When Erik Paulson, a world champion before the term MMA even existed, demonstrates the ancient techniques from the Bubishi, known as the Bible of Karate, the devastating truth becomes clear. These aren't just fighting moves, they're career-ending weapons designed for survival, not sport. Welcome back to Fight Legends Unleashed, where we explore martial arts history's most powerful and controversial techniques. Today we're diving into the forbidden world of karate techniques, which is so devastating that they've been banned from modern MMA competitions. These aren't the typical point-scoring moves you see in karate tournaments. These are the battlefield-tested, life-altering techniques that the ancient Okinawan masters developed for life-or-death situations. Before we explore these dangerous moves, let's understand why they exist in the first place. Karate wasn't created as a sport. It was a survival system developed in Okinawa when weapons were banned by the ruling samurai. The techniques we'll examine today reveal karate's true lethal potential that had to be sanitized when it transformed from a self-protection art to a competitive sport. This begins with the Bubishi, also known as the Bible of Karate, the oldest historical reference to fighting techniques from Okinawa, the birthplace of karate. Unlike today's sport-oriented approach, the traditional karate documented in the Bubishi wasn't concerned with points or medals. It focused on efficient, often brutal techniques designed to end conflicts decisively. When Erik Paulson, a world champion predating the term MMA, examines these ancient techniques, his expert analysis reveals their true purpose. As he demonstrates, many of these moves don't just defeat an opponent, they permanently injure them. This distinction is crucial to understanding why certain karate techniques have been banned from modern MMA. They simply cross the line from competition to maiming.
Not only am I trying to beat you, but I'm also trying to injure you for life.
Explains, capturing the fundamental difference between modern combat sports and traditional fighting arts. This philosophy explains why many of these techniques had to be excluded when karate transformed from a battlefield art to a modern sport. The most obvious banned technique is also one of the most effective, the groin strike. Known as the low blow in combat sports, this devastating attack targets one of the body's most vulnerable areas. While it's a go-to move for self-defense, it's strictly prohibited in MMA and other combat sports. Masoyama, the toughest nails founder of Kyokushin Karate, allowed groin strikes in his early tournaments, understanding their effectiveness in real combat. Even the legendary Kung Fu master Wong Fei Hung reportedly ended a fight with one swift strike to the groin back in the late 1800s, demonstrating the technique's fight-ending potential. The prohibition makes perfect sense from a sporting perspective, as allowing competitors to target the groin would not only be excruciatingly painful, but could cause lasting damage to reproductive organs. Yet in traditional karate, this vulnerability was precisely why it was targeted. Perhaps even more dangerous than groin strikes are attacks to the throat. Whether executed as a knife hand, shuto, or a spear hand, throat strikes directly threaten an opponent's ability to breathe and can crush the windpipe if delivered with full force. Okinawan karate master Choki Motobu reportedly used a throat strike to take down a boxer in a famous 1921 confrontation, instantly ending the fight. This historical example demonstrates why throat strikes have been banned from MMA and sport karate competitions. They're simply too dangerous to be allowed in a sporting context. Erik Paulson demonstrates this deadly efficiency.
Yeah, just like Bruce Lee. First thing, bang, eye jab.
That might be enough.
That's enough.
Speaking of vulnerable targets, few areas of the human body are as easily damaged as the eyes. Poking, prodding, or gouging your opponent's eyes is universally banned in combat sports, yet it was a standard technique in traditional karate. Even Gichin Funakoshi, the father of modern karate, acknowledged the value of eye gouges as a self-defense technique in his early years. In the Bubishi, attacking the eyes is considered one of the most efficient ways to immediately stop an aggressor.
First thing I would do if somebody grabs me is to just go straight to the eye.
Like a distraction.
Yeah, demonstrates. Like a distraction, just like Bruce Lee.
Yeah, just like Bruce Lee. First thing, bang, eye jab.
Direct target technical categories of banned techniques involves manipulations of the body's smaller joints, fingers, toes, and wrists. While larger joint submissions, like arm bars and kimuras, are allowed in MMA, manipulations of these smaller, more fragile joints are prohibited due to the high risk of permanent technique.
Pucks out to the eye jab. I use this all the time against knife attacks or if somebody grabs.
Technique efficiently controls an opponent's hand while simultaneously attacking their vision. Old school Okinawan styles featured these techniques extensively before sporting rules were established. The risk of broken fingers, dislocations, and career-ending hand injuries is simply too high to permit in competition, yet these were fundamental techniques in karate's arsenal. Perhaps no banned technique has caused more catastrophic injuries in martial arts competitions than the scissors takedown, known in Japanese as kanibasami. This spectacular but dangerous technique involves wrapping your legs around an opponent's leg while falling to the ground, creating a brutal lever that can easily snap knees, ankles, or hips.
It's going to be a jumping scissor throw. If you jab, boom, like that.
Okay.
It's here. And then you finish it.
That's the knee.
Technique is so dangerous that even judo founder Jigoro Kano banned his students from using it in sparring. When demonstrating this move, Paulson emphasizes its destructive potential.
Guys don't fall to their hand, they just jump and they break the leg sideways.
The risk of catastrophic injury is exactly why it's prohibited in MMA and most combat sports competitions. Attacks to the spine represent another category of techniques that are too dangerous for competition. Striking the spine with a hand, elbow, or knee might be effective in ending a fight, but the risk of permanent paralysis makes these techniques unacceptable in a sporting context. Okinawan master Choki Motobu allegedly used a spear hand to the back to defeat a larger opponent, showcasing the devastating potential of these spine attacks. In modern injuries, among the most chilling techniques demonstrated by Paulson is the deliberate breaking of an opponent's forearm.
Their bump, bang, like this, and then this is the wrench, and then they'll elbow. Now Aoki, he'll slide down to here.
Japanese fighter Shinya Aoki, who became notorious for his arm-breaking techniques, Paulson notes the ethical dilemma. I like it because it's career-ending. This highlights the fundamental difference between sport and self-defense. In competition, fighters need to be able to return to fight another day. The oblique Kyokushin legend Andy Hug, targeting the knees in this way can end careers in an instant. The ligament-tearing, cartilage-crushing potential of these kicks makes them particularly controversial. MMA, full-force strikes are banned in many traditional karate competitions that focus on points rather than knockouts. In Karate Federation, WKF Point Karate, competitors must demonstrate control with their punches, pulling them short of full impact. This reveals an interesting paradox. While some karate techniques are too dangerous for MMA, certain MMA techniques are too dangerous for different priorities and safety concerns across various martial arts formats. Modern MMA and sport karate have necessarily eliminated these techniques to protect competitors, allowing martial artists. Yet understanding these forbidden techniques gives us insight into karate's true potential and the evolution. What do you think about these banned techniques? Would you incorporate any of these movements into your self-defense training? Have they changed your perspective on traditional karate? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth martial arts analysis.